My dear countrymen, my dear friends, my dear students, laborers, peasants, the younger generation, those who fought for Pakistan, the working classes, the laboring classes, those who work with their hands. I want to tell you that I have come in at a very late hour, at a decisive moment in the history of Pakistan. We are facing the worst crisis in our country's life, a deadly crisis. We have to pick up the pieces, very small pieces, but we will make a new Pakistan, a prosperous and a progressive Pakistan, a Pakistan free of exploitation, the Pakistan envisaged by the Qaid-e-Azam, the Pakistan for which the Muslims of the subcontinent sacrificed their lives, their honor, in order to build this new land. That Pakistan will come. It is bound to come. This is my faith, and I am confident that with your cooperation, understanding, and patience, we will emerge as a stronger and a greater state. I have no doubt about it. Now, tonight, I could have spoken from a text. I could have said what was written, but I wanted to speak from my heart. I wanted to speak to you because I need your help. I need your cooperation. I am no magician. I am a fallible individual. And without your cooperation, I simply cannot succeed. Believe me, without your cooperation, I am a pygmy. But with your cooperation and with your support, I am taller than the Himalayas. But I must have that cooperation and understanding. You must give me time, my dear countrymen, and I will do my best. Ever since my return, I have been working round the clock, and that is why I have not been able to prepare a text for this important statement. Nevertheless, I think I must reach you straight away, and therefore I will speak on various matters, and I might go from one matter to another and come back to it, because all I have in front of me are some points, some important points, and more will follow. I will not trouble you unnecessarily. I will not like to come on the air or before the television every now and then. I do not want to make frequent appearances. But my appearances will always be there whenever it is necessary. And they might be announced suddenly. They might interrupt a program. But I assure you that I will not trouble you unnecessarily. I will trouble you only when it is necessary. And that means only when I want your consent. Only when I want your approval for an important decision. Because I want to take no decision without your consent. Under no circumstances I want to bypass the people. Under no circumstances I will move one step in any direction without your approval. So sometimes I will have to be before you on these matters because a long chain of events has to follow in the days ahead. And I am not going to waste any time. Every minute is important. And time has so far moved against us. I would have preferred to have spoken to you in Urdu. But I hope an Urdu translation will follow immediately after my speech. I do make speeches in Urdu. I make speeches in Urdu in my public meetings. And now also, I might interject in the middle with something in Urdu if necessary. But since this is my first speech, and the world is listening, I would like to speak in English for the moment. English is not our language, but we have taken no real steps to see that it is replaced properly. But these are matters which can follow later. So I speak to you in English, a foreign language, and I'm sorry that I'm speaking to you in a foreign language, but the world is listening. The world is watching Pakistan. However, that is not the only reason. You all know, you've heard my speeches. I'm not very proficient in Urdu. I speak the people's language. They understand me. Sometimes they laugh at my mistakes. Sometimes they joke about it. I'm not fluent in it, but I wish I were. And I will, in due course, if I'm still there, make efforts to establish direct contact with you, even in these meetings, in one of our national languages. But tonight, if you forgive me, I'll speak in English. And as I said, I'll speak as if we are speaking between ourselves, just you and I. And nobody else is there. But everybody's there. And that everybody are the people of Pakistan. In the first instance, let me tell you that I wish I were not alive today. Believe me, I mean that. When I say that, I mean it. Because, not because the task is difficult, but because of certain developments, of certain results. I never knew that I'd live to see the day when Mr. Jagjeevan Ram, the Defence Minister of India, would be saying the things that he is saying. But Mr. Jagjeevan Ram should know that this is not the end of the world. This is the beginning of the world, the beginning of a new order, a new state of affairs. And he should not gloat over a temporary military victory. In the whole history of the subcontinent, from the beginning of the time when Muslims set foot in the subcontinent, from the beginning of the time of Muhammad bin Qasim, have we faced such a difficult situation as we are facing today. But Muslims have a proud heritage in the subcontinent. And this is only the beginning. It is not the end. We might have received certain reverses. We have received certain reverses. Certain important reverses. But these will make us learn. These will make us understand. And we will begin anew. We will begin anew with confidence, with the cooperation of the people. I'm going to speak to you frankly, my dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters. I'm going to speak to you from my heart. And I'm speaking without rancor, without any ill will, without any bitterness. The past belongs to God. The future belongs to God. But let me tell you, I'm speaking in a broad sweep. I'm speaking not as an individual, I'm speaking as a Pakistani believing in a great ideal, in a great concept. And I'm not going to indulge in cliches, because we've had too many of cliches. I have been summoned by the nation at this critical hour when we are at the edge of the precipice to lead the nation as President and Chief Martial Law Administrator. But there is a difference in the arrangement, in the sense that I have been elected by you. I have been elected by the people. I have not been capriciously thrust upon you. I am speaking to you today as the authentic voice of the people of Pakistan. Not by virtue of an office that I held, but by virtue of the verdict you gave in a national election. So there is a difference. My opponents have said that I had been power hungry. I am not power hungry. If I were power hungry, I would have compromised at Tashkent and not gone back to my people. I have been 5.5 years in a struggle for democracy. And it has not been an ordinary struggle. I have been sent to jail. I still have on my back the marks of lathi charges. I was tear gassed. 5 assassination attempts were made on my life, but I always stood by the people. I was isolated from the ruling junta, from the bureaucracy, from those who matter in the land. The press gave all sorts of wrong impressions. They distorted my statements. They went on a great rampage against me and my party only because we were struggling for democracy and for social justice. The vested interest pointed all their guns at me. They called us kafirs, the biggest insult that could ever be leveled against a Musliman. And I speak to you today not only as a Pakistani but as a Musliman. That merely because we wanted to reform, merely because we wanted to change, merely because we wanted to destroy the unmaintainable and abominable status quo, a coterie of individuals tried to prevent the people of Pakistan to achieve their ends. And see where we stand today. Look at the results. Did we have to fight a war to achieve these results? Did we have to face this calumny to bring about the truth which was bound to come about in any case, if not today, but tomorrow? So my dear friends, my dear countrymen, I speak to you today as a people's representative. And I can assure you solemnly, this is my pledge to you, that I will restore democracy. I have been vested with the powers of President and Chief Martial Law Administrator. I would not like to see martial law remain 1 day longer than necessary, 1 minute longer than necessary, 1 second longer than necessary. I want the flowering of our society. I want initiative in the hands of the people. I want people to breathe. I want the suffocation to end. I know what it means to have been under dictatorship, to have been under regimes that are capricious and whimsical, regimes that decide fundamental matters in their own moments. This is not the way civilized countries run. Civilization means civil rule. Civilization means institutions. Civilization means democracy. Every institution of Pakistan has either been destroyed or it has been threatened. And that is why we face this day today. We have to rebuild democracy. We have to rebuild institutions. We have to rebuild confidence. We have to rebuild a hope in the future. We have to rebuild a situation in which a common man, a poor man, a man on the streets can tell me, go to hell, I don't believe in you. Go to hell, I don't like you. We have to make our people and our government accountable. Why we face this situation is because there has been no accountability. Without accountability, you can achieve no results. So believe me when I tell you that I have every intention to restore democracy, to give a constitution to the people of Pakistan, to give a rule of law to the people of Pakistan. I will do it. I intend doing it. I will not like to see the nation under a cloud of any capricious will of an individual. We have suffered too much for it, and we cannot suffer any longer for it. But because we are in such a terrible situation, you will give me some time in order to move towards that direction. And I will not take any time at the cost of the nation. I have made certain promises to the people. Those promises we will fulfill. And one of those promises is the restoration of democracy. So democracy will be restored. A constitution will be given to the people. And I am not giving a scheme. Schemes have failed in the past. Schemes have failed all the time. I am not going to address you every 4 months to give one scheme after another. I am going to address you whenever necessary and whenever we move forward in the direction of democracy, which is going to be soon. Now, my heart and the heart of all my friends is with our brethren in East Pakistan. All our people in East Pakistan. East Pakistan is an inseparable and an indissoluble part of Pakistan. The heroic people of East Pakistan had a great role to play in the creation of Pakistan. Without their contribution, there would have been no Pakistan. They are the majority of our land. I am fully convinced that they want to remain as a part of our land. So to the whole people of East Pakistan, I appeal to them not to forget us, but to forgive us if they are angry with us. I want to tell our gallant armed forces who have fought in East Pakistan that our hearts are with you, that we are with you. Please remain brave as you have remained brave in the past. Please endure the momentary difficulties. We will have sleepless nights. We will not rest for a moment till we have redeemed your honor. You have relations here. You have relations in places where my party has secured overwhelming majority of the votes. You are one of us. You are closer to us when you are there, far away from us, than those who are standing by me today. Our hearts and our souls are with you. And these are not empty words. Be courageous. You are brave people. You are valiant people. Some of the people standing here with me have relations there. But all of you are our relations. Please do not think that we will abandon you. We will never abandon you. We will stand by you. We are with you. If we are to go down, we will go down together. There is no question of you going down without us going down. We will all come up together. Please hold on. Please remember my words. Please have this message carried to your hearts that we are doing everything in our power. I have just taken over. But we will do everything in our power to see that there is an honorable return to normal conditions and that you are not humiliated, because your humiliation is our humiliation. And we will bend backwards to see to it that not a moment is wasted for the correct results. I do not want to spell them out because that might give an indication to other people. Also, to those who have stood by the Pakistan ideology, stand by it. Fight heroically, because the Pakistan ideology is bound to prevail. With the passage of each day, with the Indian occupation's presence being felt, by the moment you will see that the Pakistan ideology is a truthful and a faithful ideology of the reflection of Muslim Bengal. Muslim Bengal will always be a part of Pakistan. Muslim Bengal has suffered more than any other part of the subcontinent under Hindu domination. Muslim Bengal's character will always remain Muslim Bengal, and we will see to it that Muslim Bengal remains a part of Pakistan. Coming to the question of our relations between East and West Pakistan, all that I say is, yes, mistakes have been made. Who made those mistakes? Where they were made? When they were made? I will not go into that matter at this moment. But if mistakes have been made, that does not mean that a country should be dismembered, that a country should be destroyed by another country, by physical force and by physical power. This is unprecedented in the annals of history. We can rectify our own mistakes. We can make amends for our own mistakes. And I seek an opportunity to meet the leaders of Bengal and the people of Bengal to arrive at a settlement between East and West Pakistan without foreign interference and certainly without foreign occupation. We must be given that opportunity so that we can arrive at a settlement between two brothers who have always been together, who have lived together for the last 24 years, and who I believe under certain conditions will continue to live together for all times. But we must be given an opportunity to negotiate a settlement between ourselves within the concept of one united Pakistan. But having said that, I say we are prepared to discuss our modalities for a future arrangement from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum without conditions. The only condition is within the framework of Pakistan, no matter how loose that framework is. But it must be within the framework of one Pakistan, but it can be a very loose arrangement. It can be a very loose arrangement, I repeat that, but it must be within the concept of one Pakistan, and we must be given these opportunities that the settlement between East and West Pakistan must come between the leaders and the people of East and West Pakistan without any foreign interference and certainly without foreign occupation and without Indian occupation. As long as Indian forces occupy a part of my motherland, I cannot move forward. Indian forces must vacate my motherland. The Indian forces must vacate East Pakistan before we can pick up the threads. This is a condition precedent, and India claims that she's not come there as an occupier. India claims that she's come there as a liberator. So the Indian occupation of Muslim Bengal, of East Pakistan, must end before we can pick up the pieces. 104 countries of the world supported Pakistan's position. My dear countrymen, do not think that we have lost, we have won. Because a political victory is much greater than a military victory. Military victories come and go. Germans were outside the gates of Moscow. The Japanese had taken Manchuria in China. But I can go on and on to talk about foreign occupation. Foreign occupation is not a lasting phenomenon. But a political settlement, a political decision based on justice is a lasting decision. 104 countries of the world supported Pakistan and Pakistan's cause. This is an international plebiscite. This is an international election. India talks about the elections of December 1970. In my country, I am not ashamed of the elections of December 1970 in my country because my party emerged as a victorious party in this wing of the country. So we have a stake in the elections of December 1970. But if India wants to invade Pakistan, to interpret the will of the people of East Pakistan as a result of the election of December 1970, why does not India pay heed to an international election? But India has used the invasion of East Pakistan as a pretext. She talked about the refugee problem, and as a result of it, she invaded my country. We had never said that we do not want to take back refugees. We had said whatever their number, we want our own citizens back into our country. But India has brought them on their guns, on their bayonets, and on their tanks. And let me tell you, my brethren of East Pakistan, the Indians will bring many more, and you will see the developments with the passage of each day. India did not want to talk to a military regime. India did not want a military settlement. What settlement has India imposed today on East Pakistan? Is it a political settlement? India that said that there can only be a political settlement. She has today not imposed a political settlement, she has imposed a military conclusion on East Pakistan. If we have failed to impose a military solution internally, India will equally fail to impose a military solution externally. India's days in East Pakistan are doomed to failure. India simply cannot succeed. India knows that the spirit of the people of Pakistan, the spirit of the Muslims of the subcontinent cannot in any way be compromised or in any way be dejected by a temporary military victory. India should not get intoxicated by the fact that she has taken over by a preponderant military force the eastern part of Pakistan. We will fight and we will continue to fight for our honor, for our self-respect and for the integrity of Pakistan. This is not the first fight that we have had. India has a choice. The choice before India is to either accept the norms of justice and equity or to face an impeccable enemy for all times. Because the people of Pakistan, their spirit, their determination, their courage can never be compromised no matter what happens in temporary affairs or over the exigencies of time. So we will fight for one Pakistan. But between our Bengali brethren, between Muslim Bengal, East Pakistan, we are prepared to come to a modus vivendi, an honorable arrangement, a just arrangement based on the aspirations and the wishes of both wings of the country, provided we are let alone and we come to our arrangement by ourselves. We will move on to the constitution. We have to give the country a constitution. We have to give the country a rule of law. And this constitution will not be my constitution, because I am an elected representative of the people. I am a servant of the people of Pakistan. I know the people of Pakistan. I've lived with them in villages, in towns, in cities. I know what their feeling is. I know what is in their heart. I know what they want. So I'm not making an empty promise, my dear brothers, my friends, my sisters. Then I say that we will give you a constitution according to your needs and according to your requirements and exactly what you want. This will happen soon, very soon. But please give me some time in order to settle some of the preliminary internal problems and also to deal with the external situation. Because the lack of accountability has put us in a very bad plight. We have not lost a war. We have not failed. We have not failed. We have been failed. Our soldiers have nothing to be ashamed of. Our people have nothing to be ashamed of. Our soldiers fought valiantly. Our people fought valiantly. We are the victims of a system. We have not been the victims of any lack of valor or any lack of courage. Dunkirk was nothing compared to what our people and our soldiers had to face in East Pakistan. The Western press has been against us. The press has written against us. But we have nothing to fear. The truth will prevail. The truth is that the Pakistani is one of the best fighters in the world. And when I say that, these are not the words of ذوالفقار Bhutto. These are the words of a distinguished foreign general, a great British general, who said that the world has not seen a better infantry soldier than the Pakistani. So please do not lose heart. I appeal to my young friends in the armed forces. I appeal to the Jawan that we will redeem this day. We will take revenge and we will see to it that this temporary humiliation is put right. If, of course, India wants to go on the path of revenge, if India does not want cooperation and understanding based on justice and on equity, based on the rights of Pakistan and the rights of the subcontinent, because we live in the same subcontinent. I'm afraid the nation has been fed on many lies. Deception has been the order of the day. We have been misled. I'm not going into that matter now. I do not want to touch upon these questions. I would like to avoid them if necessary. But I assure you, I promise you, that I will speak the truth to you. Whatever are the realities, I will present before you either through this medium here or through public contact. I will never lose my public contact. I will bring all these issues to you for your consent and for your approval. Some of the decisions you might not like, but I will try to explain them to you. I want you to understand them. So I intend to embark on this mission very shortly, because there has been a political void in the land, and we have suffered as a result of this political void. And that is why a major portion of our country today is under foreign occupation. And we have to face an ignominious surrender in East Pakistan. Now, if the internal situation in Pakistan were directed on the right lines, I do not think that we would have seen this day. And in this connection, I can assure you that as long as I hold these responsibilities, I will move very fast for economic and social justice. I will move as fast as is necessary to see the burdens of the common man are alleviated. I will move as fast as is necessary to see that the disparities are removed. I will move as fast as is necessary to see to it that corruption and nepotism and maladministration are handled. And when I say that, I mean it. I know we have been using these words loosely in the past, but I will come down with a very heavy hand on corruption. I want the bureaucracy to do its job, to do its duty. Like I work night and day, I expect the bureaucracy to work night and day. I'm a man who works for 24 hours in a day. For me, there's no question about sleep or rest. And I expect the bureaucracy to do the same. These tea parties must come to an end. This bluff and this bravado must stop. The bureaucracy must be reoriented, and it must be at the service of the people. I am not an opponent of the bureaucracy. We need the bureaucracy, but we need a liberal, dynamic bureaucracy at the service of the people. We do not need a bureaucracy which is working under the traditions of British concepts. The Britishers were foreigners. The bureaucracy of Pakistan are not the foreigners. And when I talk about the bureaucracy, I do not mean only the Secretariat at Islamabad. I mean each and every bureaucrat, wherever he is. And I'm going to travel unexpectedly without announcing my schedules of travel. Suddenly I might land in Rahim Yar Khan, suddenly I might land in Chitral, suddenly I might land in Mirpur Khas, suddenly I might land in Layalpur. So they must expect me at any time. And I will see to it that the bureaucracy is at the service of the people. I'll see to it that corruption and maladministration are finished as long as I am holding office on behalf of the people of Pakistan. And this is said generally, not out of any vindictiveness. Any bureaucrat who has misbehaved with me in the past or has done things which are contrary to law, I forget that. We are opening a new page and a new chapter. I expect the bureaucracy to behave and to cooperate only insofar as it is in the interest of the country. In this connection, I want to say something about the police. The police has been abused. Police has a bad name. Partly it is justified, partly it is not justified. Where it is not justified, we will do everything to see that the facilities for the police, their children's education, housing, and other matters are put right. Because you can't have an honest policeman with vast powers on a salary of 100 rupees or so. We will take care of that in due course. We will take care of the security of the bureaucracy. We will respect and honor intelligent, honest bureaucrats motivated with an ideal to save and serve Pakistan. They will be honored citizens of this country. But we do not want opportunists, and we do not want corrupt persons destroying the very fabric of this nation. So to the police I say, the part which has corrupted you, we will try to put right. But you must put an end to your zulm. You must put an end to your tyranny. You must see to it that the security of every individual, no matter how poor he is respected. First thing is, I want to ensure the security of the common man, the respect of the common man. The common man, the poor man, the peasant and the laborer have been subjected to too much humiliation. The whole nation has been humiliated today because the common man has been humiliated for 24 years. If the common man had not been humiliated for 24 years, Pakistan as a nation would not have been humiliated today. I want an end to that humiliation. I want each and every individual to be regarded as important. I do not want him to get his justice through sufarish. I am not going to accept any sufarish at all. I am not going to permit relations to say that we are related to Mr. Bhutto. I have no relations. I have no family. My family is the people of Pakistan. My children are the people of Pakistan. I do not have any family. I do not have any relations. Nobody will do sufarish through my relations or through people known to me or through my party. I will never brook that, because the people of Pakistan are my family. Of course, I have a talented cousin who is outstanding in his own right. He will have a right to serve the people because he has gone to jails. He's intelligent. He's gone to Oxford. That's a different matter. But you can be rest assured that I have got children and I have got wives. They will not come into the picture. They will be nowhere in the picture. And if my children or my family or my wives think that they can exploit my position, they are sadly mistaken, because I will make them accountable as anyone else. So that must be known clearly to everyone. No sufarish from anyone, no nepotism, no corruption, and no maladministration. It has been said these things are impossible. They are not impossible. Nothing is impossible. I expect the people and the party to cooperate with me to see where we can come down heavily on these matters. But fundamentally, it is the economic system. It is a social and economic system that requires change and adjustment. We had to face this war. We had to face this humiliation in order to give the people an opportunity to put the social economic system right. We intend to put the social economic system right. It will take us some time. Rome was not built in a day. But nobody should unnecessarily be frightened either, because we want to serve the people. We are not after anyone's blood. Those who are the enterprising, they must continue to render their contribution to the nation. And we want industrial production to go up. We want production to go up. I will ensure that there are no lockouts. I will ensure that the laborer is not maltreated. I will ensure that that unemployment does not unnecessarily take place. I would not appeal to the industrial class. I will tell the industrial class that do not eject, do not have lockouts, do not throw out laborers, because laborers are our masters. I tell the laboring community, please be a little patient. Please be a little patient. We will do everything in our power to put the resources of the nation at your disposal, because you are the producers of wealth. And all those who are the producers of wealth have nothing to fear. All those who work with their hands, all those who toil, please do not fear, because your Pakistan has come into being today. Those who sweat, those who toil have nothing to fear, and that applies to every segment of society. Also, I tell the farmers, you are the backbone of the nation. You will not be ejected by Vaderas. You will not be ejected by Zamindars. You will have your rights. I intend to have land reforms. I intend to have land reforms in the first instance, and I intend to have land reforms in the second instance. Second instance is when democracy will be restored, because the people's representative must determine the extent of land reform. But in the first instance, I will have land reforms which are absolutely necessary, for which we need no debate, and these land reforms will also be significant. And anyone who tries to circumvent these land reforms, he will have to be punished severely. I want no circumvention of land reforms in the first instance. I want no circumvention of labor reforms in the first instance. These labor reforms and these land reforms will come. They will come very soon. Give me a little time. But at the same time, I tell the zamindars and the industrialists that they should not think that the heavens have come down. The heavens never come down. But they should not think that the heavens have come down. There should be no slackening in production, either in the agricultural sector or in the industrial sector. If there is any slackening of industrial production or agricultural production to frustrate my reforms, then I will nationalize and I'll acquire that property in the name of the people straight away. So I expect cooperation straight away from those who think that they might try to frustrate these reforms. These reforms cannot be frustrated. These reforms, if they are frustrated, then those who try to frustrate them will have to pay a very heavy price. Secondly, I want no flight of capital out of Pakistan. Pakistan money that has gone out of the country, out of the blood and the sweat of the people of Pakistan, must be brought back into Pakistan. And within a few days, I am going to issue certain orders in relation to the flight of capital. But if the flight of capital is not brought back by voluntary means, then you should not blame me for the actions that I take. I appeal to all those people who have taken Pakistan's blood out of this poor country to bring back that blood, because that blood is needed by my people. It is needed by the armed forces of Pakistan. Return the money to Pakistan. You must bring it back, otherwise I know the means. I shall seal the frontiers of Pakistan. I shall not allow any individual to leave Pakistan. I shall take measures against the families of those people who have taken money out of this country. I shall take hostages if people have taken money out of Pakistan. That money must come back straight away. It must come back into Pakistan. But I give you time. I give you time to voluntarily do it. And I'm not going to set up committees and commissions for 6 months and 3 months. I know the people who have money abroad. I know them, and I know that they can bring it back. Bring it back honorably, bring it back in the interest of the people, bring it back for the armed forces. My armed forces need weapons. My armed forces need tanks. My armed forces have to be rehabilitated. My armed forces have given their lives for Pakistan's sovereignty and integrity, and therefore this money must come back. To my students, to the students who have brought me back into a position of responsibility. The people of Pakistan have brought me back into a position of responsibility. But in the first instance, it has been the students. No leader of Asia and Africa, if I can recall, has been brought back into a position of responsibility who has been a victim of a conspiracy of a great power. I was a victim of a conspiracy of 2 great powers, but I have been brought back into office by the people of Pakistan. And I am grateful to you. I am thankful to you. My students are my children. I tell the student community that we will not interfere in your internal politics. I have no party in the student community. Whichever party wins elections, whichever party gains in the student community, that is their lookout. We will not enter politics into the student community. We will allow the student community to flourish, to come to its own decisions. They are our elite. They are the masters of tomorrow. I am going to go to every university in Pakistan, but please give me some time. I have a lot of misunderstandings to remove because the press and other forces have tried to create misunderstandings. To the students, I shall be eternally grateful. I am going to bring about many reforms in the educational field, many reforms, and I will make you the masters of your own destiny. But that destiny is the destiny of Pakistan, so I know that you will reciprocate with the same sense of responsibility. I've already spoken on the provincial administration. Please do not misunderstand. As far as the provinces are concerned, in this temporary period, I will not allow a void to remain in the provinces. I will see to it that the political tentacles spread to all the provinces. This I assure you, but again, give me some time. Give me a little time and I will do that. In the meantime, I'll form a cabinet. I'll take people who I think are best suited to discharge their responsibilities. This will be a temporary cabinet. Everything is temporary for the moment. Nothing is permanent. Permanency will come after the constitution is approved by the people. It will be a people's constitution. Permanent arrangements will come through the voice of the people, and I am a part of that voice. Till then, everything is temporary. My own position is temporary. Whatever arrangements I make are temporary. And secondly, nobody should misunderstand if a certain person is given a certain job to do. This will be done in the administration, in the bureaucracy, in other places. But this is a national crisis. This is a crisis of our survival. There should be no question of injured feelings if a man is transferred from one position to another. There should be no question of feeling hurt if someone comes to replace someone else, because we have all been replaced. Have I not been replaced? Did we not all go out? We all have to go out. Everything is temporary. Only God and the universe of God are permanent. So please do not misunderstand. I will never take a single action out of vindictiveness. I will take every action based on objective necessities of Pakistan. So if adjustments and necessities are made, they have to be made for the time being, and I am sure they will be accepted in a spirit of responsibility. And if a responsibility is offered to an individual, he should take it. He should not argue with me, because I am now in search of people who do not even like me, who have spoken against me, who have said things against me. I am not going by those considerations. I am going by national considerations, considerations of talent. I want the talent of Pakistan. I want the talent of Pakistan internally. I want the talent of Pakistan that is outside Pakistan. I want to draw in the talent of Pakistan to responsible positions, not on the basis of safarish or favoritism, but on the basis of talent. I appeal to the talent. of Pakistan to come and help me. I am an individual. I cannot do this all by myself. I want you all to come and help me. If the talent responds, we can move mountains and we can face the aggressor. We can overwhelm all odds. I would like to say now something about the armed forces. The armed forces should know that I've always admired them. I've always stood by them. As a foreign minister and a minister in the past, I always contributed towards the strengthening of the armed forces. The armed forces of Pakistan have always heroically defended their motherland. Please, my dear Jawans and my officers and my brothers, you have fought bravely. You have nothing to be worried about. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You have been the victims of a system. We will put all this right. I will establish direct contact with you. I cannot look after everything, but because of the present sensitive situation, I intend, as President and Chief Martial Law Administrator, to at least retain the portfolio for defense and foreign affairs. I will distribute other portfolios wherever they are necessary so that others can come and help me. We will get together. Whatever your grievances are, we will redress them. You feel today a sense of great hurt. Today your minds are agitated. Today you are seeking vengeance. Please wait a little. We will consult each other. We will work out together a scheme that will vindicate national honor, a scheme that will vindicate your honor, our honor. There's no difference between us. The people and the armed forces are one. The trouble has arisen because efforts were made to divide the people and the armed forces. The armed forces come out of the people. It is the people who create the armed forces. So we will bring back that harmonious integration between the people and the armed forces of Pakistan. But I need your cooperation. I need your sympathy. I need your understanding. But in this connection, since certain measures are necessary, and I do not say it light-heartedly, I say it with a heavy heart, I have already taken certain measures which will come into force immediately. And that is that immediately, at once, the following generals would have retired. The former president has already retired. He told me today that he has retired. So, the former president, General Agha Muhammad Yahya Khan, is no longer in the armed forces. He has retired. So also, General Abdul Hamid Khan has been retired today. So also, General SGMM Pirzada stands retired today. So also General Umar is retired today. So also General Khudadat Khan is retired today. So also General Kiani, he stands retired. So also General Mittha stands retired. These are the generals who have been retired on the wishes of the people, on the wishes of the armed forces of Pakistan. This is not my personal decision. I do not know them. I do not know most of them. I have not seen most of them. But I have held discussions, consultations, and this appears to be the will of the armed forces and of the people of Pakistan. And I am a servant of the people of Pakistan, and I must salute the decision and the sentiment of the armed forces. These generals stand retired. They cannot perform any further duties. They will retire honorably, gracefully, and arrangements are already being made for their replacement. This is my first decision, primary decision, and I think it will accord with the sentiments of the armed forces, the younger officers, and the general thinking. In the meantime, as I said, everything is temporary. My own position is temporary. All arrangements are temporary. I have asked General Gul Hassan to be the acting CNC of the Pakistan Army, and he will take this position immediately, straight away. He'll go to work right now, and he'll have to work night and day. He's a soldier. He's a professional soldier. I do not think he's ever liked to dabble in politics, and I think he has the respect and the support of the armed forces. So I've taken this decision. Nobody should misunderstand it. I know the general sentiments. Nobody should misunderstand it. These are temporary arrangements, and permanent arrangements will be made later on when we have had an opportunity to discuss and contemplate over these matters in greater depth. But these decisions are nevertheless necessary, so I have to take them. But he will retain the rank of Lieutenant General. We are not going to make any unnecessary promotions. We are a poor country. We are not going to unnecessarily fatten people. One of the reasons why we have had to see this day is because luxury has overtaken us. So I'm afraid Lieutenant General Gul Hassan will have to retain the rank of a Lieutenant General, and we should not expect that he will be promoted to the rank of a general merely because of this temporary arrangement. And I expect the Lieutenant General Gul Hassan, as the new CNC of the Pakistan Army, will be at the command and the service of the people of Pakistan and the government of Pakistan. And I repose confidence in him, but we must also expect that he will achieve great things. He will remodel the army, reset the army, reorient the army on new lines, dynamic lines, on the lines of a free people's army. In this connection, I would also like to say that I am withdrawing the ban on the National Awami Party. Now, I know that there are many misgivings, many controversies, but I am doing it in good faith. I am doing it in good faith because I want to start with a clean slate. I am assuming that we are all patriotic, that we all want to serve Pakistan. So I am withdrawing the ban on the National Awami Party, and I am going to summon or request, I am sorry to use the word summon, to request the leaders of the National Awami Party to meet me very soon. In this connection, I am also going to ask the other leaders of other political parties to meet me separately. I have nothing against them. Believe me, on the national level, I will never take a partisan decision. That is all behind us. That was a part of politics when we didn't have this responsibility. No political leader, no political party should fear that we are going to take a partisan position. I am going to consult all of them, and I hope that these consultations will be helpful. But if unnecessary mischief is caused, then I'm afraid they know me too well, and we will have to react sharply. But before that, I'm going to have a meeting with them, have discussion. Foreign policy, well, foreign policy has to be recast and redone. It will be naturally an independent foreign policy motivated towards the higher interests of Pakistan. We want good relations with all countries. 104 countries have stood by Pakistan. We want good relations with all the great powers. We want to have a foreign policy which is positive and which is constructive. I do not want to say much more on this sensitive subject, but this much I'd like to say, that we want a constructive and a positive foreign policy. The by-elections that have been held in East Pakistan, they were impracticable and were an insult to the people. I liquidate the results of the by-elections held in East Pakistan. I am going to talk to the two elected leaders of East Pakistan, Mr. Nurul Amin, as well as the Chakma chief, who is out of the country. I want him to come back immediately to Pakistan so that we can hold consultation. These are the two elected leaders of East Pakistan who arose out of a free vote in the December 1970 elections. Finally, there are two matters more. One is that I make a pledge to you, I make a solemn pledge to you, that I'll serve you with all my heart and soul. I'll serve you even if it kills me. I know what the people of Pakistan want. I've lived with them, I've been with them through thick and thin. Please have faith in me, because I have infinite faith in you. I know that with your cooperation, we can look over the Himalayas. We can be taller than the Himalayas. But without your cooperation, I am simply nobody. I cannot be carried on a gun or a bayonet. I can only be carried in your heart. I will never deceive you. I will never betray you. I will stand by you. Believe me that we will march together to a greater and a more glorious Pakistan. This we will do because we have faith in Islam. We have faith in Islam, which is the last message of God on earth. Islam that gave brotherhood, equality and fraternity to the world. With Islam, with social progress, based on what we consider to be Islamic socialism, based on brotherhood, equity and common feeling of tolerance and association, inshallah ta'ala, we will triumph. I have no doubt in my mind. My brothers and sisters, in this moment of anguish and sorrow, Please do not have any doubt in your mind. Please get up. Please stand up. Please face the world. It's a bitter world, but we have to face the bitter truth. And I can assure you that we will succeed. There can be no doubt that we will succeed. Pakistan was made for a great cause, for a great ideal. That ideal is imperishable. That ideal is living. So today, let us pledge together, not only my pledge, but your pledge, that we shall see to it that this stigma is wiped out, even if it has to be done by our children's children. Pakistan Zindabad.